Happy Monday, my friends. Hope you guys are having a great one. I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about insurance renewals. I told you guys I was going to come on here and start talking about the concept of insurance renewals. And, you know, I've been at Senior Life since 2011. In fact, I opened up California and a couple other states when they were making their Western expansion. And, you know, it didn't take very long for me to become number one at Senior Life and write a whole lot of insurance. And that was from 2011 to 2015. I did my dead level best to write a lot of insurance as a group and really, you know, grow with them in that time frame. And again, this is going back to all of you guys that maybe hear or read the negative comments from other people saying that Senior Life is not paying them their renewals, they're not seeing their money. And I see those statements because I know there's more to the story than what is being said. And I'm sharing my story because, again, I want you to understand, especially if you're new to the business, that anytime you sign a contract with an insurance company and your renewals are vested from day one, then as long as you follow your contract guidelines and you don't break what you signed from day one, the insurance company has to pay you your renewals, whether they like you or not. There's just no way around that. That's just basic contract law. So if you sign an agreement with a company and the company on the agreement says that you're vested from day one, meaning that from day one, if you write one application or two or five and you decide to walk away to go somewhere else, you keep that business. Period. So someone can't just come and steal your business, take your renewals without giving you a valid legal reason of why that happens. So, with my journey with Senior Life, like I mentioned, I started with them in 2011, and in short order, I became number one agency, wrote a ton of applications. But then in 2015, I had a problem with the way Senior Life was handling their chargeback system. And up until 2015, Senior Life was on a prorated system where if the policy fell off the books, my chargeback balance was what the company did not recover from the advance. And that's the way it was. But in 2015, the company made that change. And when they made that change, they went from prorated to 100% chargeback. So if I got advanced $700 and 3 months later Ms. Jones canceled, I had to pay back to Senior Life the 100%, that $700, regardless if Ms. Jones paid those 3 months. Well, there's no secret that I had a hard time with that. My sub-agents had a hard time with that. And by the end of 2015, I had sent in my notice to Senior Life letting them know that I was no longer going to be pushing their product number one. Why? Because of the chargeback problem. That, to me at that point in time, was a big issue, a big problem. Because I felt like the insurance company was going to make money off my losses. But you know, in that moment in time, I made the decision that I felt was the best for me and my family. And what did I do? I decided to become a broker, decided to add more carriers to my lineup. And let me tell you what, I have no problem with that even to this day. And my thinking was, I'm going to align myself with one or two or three other insurance companies that do telephone sales, that have voice signature, and I'm going to split my business within those companies. And that way, no one company will always have control over me or mess with my business. And that was my thinking. Not just mine, but my agents as well. So we went ahead and did that. And that started a journey for me in mapping out retention. It started the journey of showing other insurance carriers like GPM, Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, a few others, how to sell insurance over the telephone. And we started having success selling for other products, other companies. Not an issue. But fast forward to 2023, when I made the decision to come back to Senior Life 100% exclusively, and I made that decision not all at once, believe me, but it was slowly. Because let me tell you what happened. When I announced to Senior Life and I told my friend Ron that I was moving on, obviously they weren't happy about him because I was number one. Who wants to lose the number one guy, right, to go be a broker? But let me tell you what. They didn't say anything negative, and we continue to be friends, considering I had moved on, and they continued to pay me. And not one time in between 2016 and 2022 did I ever get any threats, any letters, anything saying that if I did this or that, I was going to lose my renewals. Not one time. And let me tell you what that is. That's called honor. That's called respect. And in return, I've given them that same respect by giving them kudos over all these years. That one fact that they have paid me every single month, even in months and years that I never sold a single policy. But here's the main decision of why I came back to Senior Life exclusively. One, I knew that the marketing in terms of TCPA and the FCC on the one-to-one consent was going to change, and I made a decision that it would be best to only have one carrier. But it all came down to persistency. Again, in those years, I've worked for AmAm, Royal Neighbors, Baltimore, Liberty Bankers, Polish Roman, GPM. In those years, those are companies that I went, sold insurance for, and created a positive account with these companies where they owe me money every single month. And I went ahead and did that. And let me tell you what I discovered slowly but surely. When I started looking at my business, at all of these carriers and the policies, I started noticing one thing, that Senior Life policies were staying on the books a lot longer than the rest. About 10 to 15% more power in retention. That is right. And when I started seeing that trend, it started putting a smile on my face. I started realizing that the things that I was upset years ago had no bearing on my profits, because Senior Life's customers were paying more, staying more on the books compared to any of those other companies that I have placed over the years. And that was it for me. When I saw it with my own eyes, with my own products, with my own carriers, the difference of 10 to 15% more at a policy that's 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, still on the books, I was sold. And why is that? Let me tell you why. With Senior Life Insurance, when you make a sale, you have an added value product by the name of Legacy Assurance. And that single product is what's helped me retain my business longer and keep my business more profitable. So for all of you guys that are haters saying that Senior Life doesn't pay renewals, please check yourself, because not only do they pay renewals, but they retain more clients than any of those other companies that I just mentioned. And if you don't believe me, please call me and I will show you the policies and I'll show you the persistency, because documentation beats conversation. Peace.